From the east, house of light, may wisdom dawn in us, so we may see all things in clarity. From the north, house of night, may wisdom ripen in us, so we may know all from within. From the west, house of transformation, may wisdom be transformed into right action, so we may do what must be done. From the south, house of the eternal sun, may right action reap the harvest, so we may enjoy the fruits of planetary being. From above, house of heaven, where star people and ancestors gather, may their blessings come to us now. From below, house of earth, may the heartbeat of her crystal core bless us with harmonies to end all war. From the center, galactic source, which is everywhere at once, may everything be known as the light of mutual love. Ayum Hunav Ku Eva Maya E Ma Ho. Ayum Hunav Ku Eva Maya E Ma Ho. Ayum Hunab Ku Eva Maya E Ma Ho. All hail the harmony of mind and nature.
Welcome, everybody. I'm in the heart of nature tonight, and I won't fade away because I got my spotlight, but welcome to Viyahta's Tiny House Village. We have a very special show tonight with some sisters from the True Black Light Media Group. So you don't want to miss it. Call your friends and get them to come on in because we're going to talk about motherhood tonight. There's so much confusion about gender roles these days. And the True Black Light Media Amana Village Group is so enlightened, so conscious that we want to bring you some truth from the voices of women who are studying, who are growing, who are evolving, and who are aware that these are some special time for us to create. I mean, we got to be some strong creators. We are being reminded by families like True Black Light Media on the power that we have within us. So that's why we have put together this show tonight. So let me welcome my village first, and then when I come back, I'm going to bring on Sister Imecca, and I think we have one more visitor, sister coming on. But welcome, welcome, welcome. Share this with your friends. We need to clarify motherhood from a very conscious point of view.
The kookaboot and ha. The kookaboot and ha. And ha kabos and this order corona cookroos curdo and ha. The kookaboot and ha. The kookaboot and ha. I looked at my dress with mad push loud on the back.
And that music is by my brother Imecca, who is on YouTube. So grateful to have him donate his music so I don't have to worry about copyright issues and all that stuff. So tonight we are talking about motherhood, and I have with me Sister Imecca, who is going to share her wisdom and her knowledge about this topic because there's so much confusion. Welcome, sister.
Wait, what did you call me, sister?
Oh,
Who?
I called you a mom.
I'm like, okay, who is that?
That's the brother who made the music.
Right, right. I heard you say that. Yeah,
But you
yeah.
go ahead, Imecca. I'm sorry. I knew it was Imecca, right?
That's correct. That is correct.
Imecca,
That's correct.
welcome and thank you for coming back to share wisdom and truth with our listeners. Because, as I said, gender confusion is an epidemic right now,
It really
and
is.
we got a lot of single moms, we got divorced moms. There's no traditional family in our most of our lives. We may not be experiencing traditional mom, dad, children in a household, right? So I'm glad you brought this topic to light so we can dig in and analyze it and bring some solutions. So first of all, why don't you start out telling us a little bit about yourself for those who are new and who didn't meet you the last time you were here? Tell us a little bit of your history, why, how you connected with. It's True Black Light Media, right?
That is correct.
And it's Amana Village,
That's
okay,
correct.
right? Okay, so tell us a little bit about yourself first, and then how you connected with this amazing family of brothers and sisters.
Well, for those who wasn't here last week, my name is Imecca Wright. I am a author, a herbalist, and a mother, and a grandmother, and a great grandmother. So we're talking about some stuff I know about motherhood. And again, with the Amana Village, I was introduced to with do it with some friends, learning and how to learn and unlearn about self, and not follow the system that they have us following. So, following yourself, believing in yourself. So that's what they teach. You are God, you believe in yourself, and you don't have to wait for somebody to tell you what to do and how to do it. So, outside of that, I wanted to say before we got started in this with the motherhood, parenting comes with no instructions. And everybody have their way of doing it from their parents' parents. But every child is different and every person is different. So you have to raise your children according to, what you believe and what you know is right. We know right from wrong. We just have to do it.
And that's what I call conscious parenting.
Hmm.
So many of mothers, fathers, either one, are not aware of the spiritual soul relationship that we have to these babies that come through our womb, that we become their caretakers for whatever time they're with us. And so if they don't have that instruction from their parents, the grandparents or the great grandparents, then that's why we have abuses going rampant all over the place.
That is correct.
There was somebody shared with me recently a man who killed his whole family and the children, and she was saying, well, this is just so evil, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, honey, if you look at the grandparents and the parents of that man who decided to take the life of those children, you will find the root cause of his psychopathic behavior, because it starts to me with generational curses. Sure, you're familiar with that. And that these people who commit these horrible crimes, they had to have some training from grandma, great grandma, grandmother, whoever was in the house.
Well, I don't agree with that.
Go ahead, you give that. That's Hey, we're here to have healthy discussions,
Right,
and that's
right,
what
right.
it's not about.
Yeah.
But you go ahead and give your opinion
So,
on that.
what I feel about that is, a parent can only do what they can do. I don't think,
Absolutely.
and again, it don't parenting don't come with instructions. So I don't think, and that's what the system wants you to do is blame your parents. And when kids do stuff they know right from wrong, the parents get charged for it. But in this case, when you find somebody they can have the loving family, they can, excuse me, they can have a mother and a father in a home, the perfect, so-called perfect family, and still, do something. I think it's just within themselves. I don't believe that it has much to do with your upbringing. What to me has to do with your upbringing is how you structure your life. So when you're in a household, those are just those aren't concrete rules, because as you get older and as you learn and you know better, you do better. So our parents and their parents, my mother didn't have a mother, so she did the best she could from what her sister taught her. So parenting don't come with instructions. I don't know how else to break that down. We do the best that we know how to do what's in ourselves. So for those who can kill their wives and their children, it's something deeply rooted in them. That's just that evil that has taken over them at that particular time. A lot of times when people kill themselves, I always call it going sideways. So if you just stand straight up a day longer, the next day is going to get better. Each day gets better, and we learn different things that will stop you if you stay here long enough. A lot of people are so emotional, they in the moment and they just do something erratically and can't take it back. You've done it, you can't take it back. So and this man killing his kids, that's becoming the norm in our race for some reason. I don't know if they snapping off or what's going on in their minds, drugs, stuff that they're putting in the food. So it's just a lot of different scenarios outside of looking back into the family. You can look back into the family and say, if this child wasn't raised with a mom, or if this child wasn't raised with a father, how was, and he had the streets had to teach him. So it's going to be some things he's not going to know how to do as a man. But unless you got, the Adams family as parents and you got somebody hiding in your basement, you know what I mean? You're going to repeat. They say hurt people. And that's a true statement. So I'm gonna let you take it from there.
Okay, so we could, and that's true. I wouldn't even argue with you about that. That's true as well. You look at somebody like Ben Carson. You know who Ben Carson was or
yes,
is? He was
yes.
a surgeon who did one of the first brain surgeries on a baby, I think it was. If you read his book, I read his book a long time ago, and then they made a movie about him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he was raised by a single mother, right?
Mm-hmm.
That woman had enough wisdom in her that her two sons were reading all the time. She started them. There was no street mess going on. Her education, her limited education. I think she was a nurse, though. She worked most of the time, but she was a single mom raising two boys.
Mm-hmm.
She knew. And I'm going to say the divine assignment for Ben Carson had to have a mother's guidance of, you're going to learn how to read, you're going to learn how to study, you're going to be so smart that you can become a brain surgeon. Mm-hmm. So the guidance from his mother, which had to be put in her by her mother, her mother had to have planted in that woman some wisdom and knowledge and strength and courage and all the things she had to raise two boys on her own to breed, so that one could become a brain surgeon. And then he later became, what was he under Trump? The health secretary or something? I think he became the health secretary under Trump. So that's an example that we don't see often, but it happens all the time, that single moms are very good at raising successful children. Okay, I think we can all agree on that.
That is true.
But today, I think what the difference is number one, social media, so many distractions, cell phones. I mean, it was one thing to have a television in the house when I grew up. That was a distraction, but we didn't have any cell phones or social media, so we were outside playing all the time. When we weren't in the house, Saturday morning cartoons was about the only time we were stuck on that TV. Otherwise, it was get out the house, don't come back till the sun goes down. Now it's so many distractions for young people, especially moms raising kids. And then we know that fathers were out of the house in a lot of families because of the government's rules about not having fathers in the house if you want to get assistance.
That's right.
So now we're in 2026. And things have really sped up with technology, AI, people losing money. Yesterday I did a show with a guy who makes tiny houses, all kinds of small houses on bikes, on land.
Hmm.
And so we've got a lot of mothers living in cars with their families. It's crazy the
It is.
change that we see with family situations, right?
Hmm.
So we want to bring to the table some solutions for mothers and some encouragement for mothers who may be struggling or who just want to hear that it's going to be okay. What's your experience, Emeka, in your own family, communities, whatever, with mothers today? Do they share some of the things they're going through? Do you have people in your family who are looking for help? What's going on in your own
Well, I
circle?
can kind of give you one solution that's close to me and dear to me. My youngest daughter decided to homeschool her son, and by her homeschooling him, or and having him be a part of an engineering school at 11 years old, 10 and 11, he was going taking college classes down at Georgia State or doing them online. So, and he's 12 years old. He's very, very smart. And this stem from her not allowing him to have a cell phone, her having him eating healthy. This boy eats vegetables, salads. Most kids don't want that kind of stuff. She didn't give him a whole lot of candy, and to some it may have been looking strict, but looking back on how he had to be at the bed at a certain time, he couldn't watch TV, only on the weekends sometime. So looking back at how she structured him and raised him, amazing. All he, yes ma'am, no sir, I mean, he's not perfect, but that came from not having him in the school system and not allowing him to have cell phones and always on the internet, stuff like that. That's a being on the internet for him is a treat. It wasn't something that he can just, get out of school and jump on the internet or, come from the classroom. But she did everything with him that they did in the class. And a lot of mothers don't realize that you have to have structure within yourself to be able to be a teacher to your child. I mean, science stuff, taking them to the library, doing different things. So those are some of the things that a single parent can look at, and because she raised him by herself. So a single parent can look at that as, okay, let me pour more time into my child. So what happens is when we have children, we're their protector. We got to pay attention to their needs and the things that they don't need, and we can't just throw them into the system. The schools have your kids longer than you. The teachers, have their kids longer than the moms, and the moms have to work. Not taking nothing from the moms that have to work, but if you can do it, that's something that you can do. That's a solution that would help.
Now, you said your daughter is a single parent.
That's correct.
So what does she do for income?
She has her own business. She
Okay.
worked for a while and she has her own business. So she's
Okay.
able to do it. But even when she had to go to work, she was structuring that her whole life to say, I'm gonna retire because I want to be homeschool my son. And in order for me to do it, I have to be home. So she was
Right.
able to do that. So that's what I'm saying. It's not just something you could just jump into. You have to plan. That's anything in your life. You need to have a plan.
Right. So
Because if
so
you don't have a plan, you can't do it.
your daughter is educated. She has to be to kind of organize a homeschool for her child. And even though his father in his life at all?
Yeah, yes, he is.
Okay, so that definitely helps. So we want to bring in the concept of a village, because I don't think today any mother can raise a child alone without a village. And that could be neighbors, friends, uncles, aunts,
That's right. That's
grandma,
right.
grandpa, but you need people, in my opinion, in your life who have a diverse perspective on life, wisdom about experiences they've had. I think this is what will bring relief, for one, for mothers.
Mm-hmm.
If you make it your goal, make it your objective to find a village, to have a village
To
in
have
your
a
life.
village.
If
Yeah.
you have
Yeah.
any children, one, two, how
Right.
many, no
That's
matter,
right.
you need to find a village. Now, some women will find that in the church, which is,
Mm-hmm.
if that's your thing, then make it the church. Because I know, even though my husband was in the house with us, we went to church all the time, and my oldest son especially, just loved the pastor of this church that I was going to, because he was a former missionary and he told the best stories about being in the jungle in Africa,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And so that really shaped his opinion and maturity about traveling, because he
Right.
wants to travel now. Just hearing that pastor talk about all the
Those
things he did when
stories.
he was traveling, you need those villagers to share their story. So moms, listen, that's one of, in my opinion, the first thing when you have are planning to have a child, who is
Right.
going to be your support system, who's
That's
going to be
right.
your social capital. What if you lose your job? Do you have a social capital system where somebody will take you in and help you out temporarily? That's the thing you need to think about the first day you're pregnant, is what are you going to do if something happens, if the father's not around and you need somebody to help you in a housing situation or whatever. Find a village, find a church, something. So Mecca, what is your thoughts about the village? What do you think the village should look like for every mother? Because I think all mothers, whether you're married or not, you need a village.
Well, that's some people don't have it. And
Right,
like you said, and not only that, some people transplant from one state to another and have nobody, and
right,
don't want to trust nobody, or afraid to trust anybody. And in today's world, it's hard to trust. But for
right.
those who have friends or family, stay close to your family. You know what I'm saying? Let that, just know that you cannot raise a child by yourself in anything, not even just a child. You don't even want to be by yourself, because we all need somebody that we could turn to or talk to. It doesn't always have to be a family member. It could be a friend. It could be somebody you went to school with or you grew up with, their family. Just stay connected to people. And those, to me, the ones who give up or kill themselves and their children, they don't have no connection. They gave up and they did not have a connection with um, you know, their family or their people. So the key is not to give up on your family. We're going to have disagreements. We're going to have, things that we don't like, but your family is all that you really, really have, that at the end of the day you can trust.
Yes, and I want to say too, family is not necessarily your blood relatives,
That's correct. That's
because
correct.
once you mature and evolve and become more spiritual, those blood relatives are staying behind in the third dimension, and you go into the fourth and fifth, and it's like conflict, conflict,
That's true.
conflict. And moms, you got to know when to let go of a relationship, whether it's a narcissist who wants to control every move you make and won't give you any freedom to do what you feel is right in your own adult, mature body, or whether it's relatives who are criticizing you about your lifestyle. You got to learn to let go, and then allow your children, if they're young, to have a conversation with you about the relationships, is what I feel.
Well,
What
and that also stems from how you raise your children. Like I always say, you don't come with instructions, but when I raised my children, I every Sunday we sat down and had family day, and I allowed them to say whatever they needed to say or how they felt, as long as they said it with respect, because I don't have all the answers. So maybe I'm doing something to them that they don't like, and they, well, because I'm their mother, I can't say it. Yeah, you should be able to sit down and talk to your children. Should be able to sit down and talk to you. Just have some family time. Why you got always have the cell phone at the table? That should be a rule in your house. No cell phone at the table. Let's have dinner together. Make it a time. Sit down. I know sometimes your schedule doesn't allow it, but at least do it on a weekend. At least one day out the week, we're gonna sit down and have dinner together, because everybody got football or church or whatever going on. if you take a day and bond with your family, that's how they're going to be able to bond with their children.
That is so in 2026. That
I
damn
know.
phone
I
is
know. I know it's hard. It's hard.
because moms are using that to babysit. And moms and dads too are using it when they want to get on their phone and do their thing. But this is the way, this is why we have problems with children in school and in social activities. I remember I was sitting in my son's dining room, and there was a woman walking her stroller, and her little girl, her daughter, her 3 year old daughter, was walking, just screaming outside. I kept looking out there like, what is wrong with that child? So I decided to go out there and find out what is wrong. And she said she took the phone away from her 3 year old, and she was having a temper tantrum.
Yeah.
I'm like, what'd you give it to her for? I don't know if I said anything. I said, what I decided to do was just give my attention to the 3 year old. And I said, what's wrong, sweetheart? And I just started talking to her lovingly, baby talk. You know what? Mommy loves you. And she just stopped her tantrum. And I realized, sister, in that moment, they just want your attention. They just want you
Mm.
to be present. But here you are giving a phone to a 3 year old. You're setting up addiction at 3 year
Yeah,
old.
that is
They
true.
love that screen going. And you can tell in restaurants and out in the mall when young kids have phones like that, they're being transformed
That's right.
to do this forever. So let's be clear, everybody, about our need to withdraw, detach, find help about that damn phone. We
And
all,
you know what? Not just babies, it's a lot of adults too. And a lot of people think
absolutely.
when you fast, it's just about food or losing weight or, whatever. But you can fast from watching TV. You can fast from whatever it is that you're addicted to, that phone. Put the phone down for the weekend and see what happens. You know what I mean? Or put it down.
Absolutely.
Start off small. Put it down for an hour. Put it down for 2 hours. You know what I mean? Just find out what's going on with with each other versus everything about this phone. So again, like the sister said, you got to unlearn and relearn. We just do. Times are different. They didn't have phones when we were growing up. They didn't have nothing. A little beeper, and you had to run to a payphone.
Walkie
Right, all that
talkie.
old crazy stuff. But I mean, we just have to take time and try to find out what it is that our children need or what it is that our mate need or whatever it is that you're mothering, because a mother wears more than one hat constantly all the time, and especially if she's in a relationship. So you're going to always be a mother. Nobody can never take that. Even if your children are 60, 70 years old, you're going to still be a mother.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what I learned about adult children, but here's a question for you. She said, "Please repeat what you said about unlearning, Amika."
I say all the time that you have to unlearn and relearn the system because they have us so messed up with the way that this world is, even with the time. Somebody even took away they fixing the calendars and they fixing the time zone is 2 hours over there. They are messing with everything. So we have to unlearn and relearn, and we also have to learn how to adapt to the way it is now. It's not going back to the way it was. Things are not
Yes.
going to change.
Yes, yes. And that's why my synchronistic human family, we're studying about the 13 moon calendar. Because this, as this person is saying here, Tanisha, out of alignment with their self. We have been out of alignment, in my opinion, since Constantine and the rulers of religion in the past changed the whole calendar. They actually took
Yeah.
a date out of the calendar. I mean, you probably studying that in the true black light media, how they and so since that change, I think, Sister Tanisha, that's why we're all out of alignment, because
Hmm.
the timing of the moon, the stars, the universe, the cosmic order of things has been changed, shifted, manipulated, all of that. So it pays to study the calendar, the 13 moon calendar, and get back to the rhythm. Who is this? Somebody's laugh. Tanisha's laugh. That's a happy face laugh. So yeah, get back to the rhythm of the cosmos,
Yeah.
right? And that's what you study in True Black Light Media, right? Is the African wisdom and truth of our universe, right?
The truth of ourselves is not so much just, well, for me, it's not so much just Africa, is being living in today. You know what I'm saying? How we going to bring what we supposed to be or where we supposed to be in today? If we would never shift it around in this world, where will we be? We don't even have, as African American, we don't even have our own flag. We don't even have our own language. We had it, but it was stripped from us. So it's just really about aligning ourselves with where we are today and how we are going to survive this system that they have us in today. You can't hear, sister, you hearing a mouse. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was trying to read the comments. We got a
Oh,
lot of
oh,
comments.
okay. I can't see
So
it.
Tanisha says everything is so expensive. Okay,
It is.
so mothers. When you think everything is so expensive, can you leave out some of the comfort foods? I would say starting with comfort food. Can you leave out some of the comfort foods out of your budget? Okay. Can you change your living arrangement? Can you change the way you commute to work if you're going to work every day? Can you share a ride with someone else? These are the opportunities. If things are expensive, look at your lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of people are spending a whole lot of money on comfort food. It's just a reality. We cannot let go of those chips and the sodas and so many other things. I know in the True Black Light Media, are you mostly focusing on vegetarianism, or what is the teaching about the diet?
No, I mean, it's nothing on that order. I mean, of course, we're, I mean, we are adults, so nobody should have to teach you how to eat at this stage. But right from, right from wrong. You know what you're supposed to have, what you're not supposed to have. You know what I'm saying? Where you go at this age where somebody's teaching you how to eat, unless you just, you know what I mean? This is not that the village, I don't feel, is structured to where I'm telling we're being told what to do and how to do it. Of course, we should eat healthy, and we do, talk about eating healthy and doing stuff like that. But I don't think food is expensive, whether it's comfort or not. But I think more so, not so much taken away from the food, taken away from the things that we want to buy. We want to keep up with the Joneses. Our kids got to have the latest PS5 or whatever that game is, or they got to have the latest Jordans. Those are the things that we need to look at as to where we're spending our money. That's what's expensive. Those are the things that uh, we got to stop doing. It's not, I mean, comfort food too, but it's not so much the foods. It's those other things that we buy that's unnecessary that we could live without.
Oh, like the nails. How about nails,
Yeah, nails,
hair?
all that's, yeah.
I think
To learn how to do your own hair.
more black people spending money on hair and nails than ever before. And how do I know? I see them in the grocery store. Everybody got long gold braids and long nails. And I'm like, how do people afford? I can't afford that stuff. And I'm more Luell, looks like Lunell, the comedian. I love watching her. She wears these long, beautiful nails, artistic golden, diamond stud nails, but her hair is natural, which is what I like about her. She doesn't wear wigs of any kind. She got short hair, and she wears the most beautiful clothing. She's a comedian. She's an entertainer. So she can do her nails and the clothing. It all goes with her job, her career. She's a comedian, an entertainer. She does the nails, which are very entertaining when she's on stage. You see these long nails and these beautiful dresses. How many of us out there are entertaining every day? and you need long nails and hair to live your life. So when somebody says everything is so expensive, moms, what do your child basic needs of your children to help them mature and grow to be healthy adults? Now, when my sister says that we don't need anybody telling us how to eat, oh my goodness, honey, the people in my life, they use most of their diet is comfort food. They don't, and these are adults in my life. They that's all they eat is comfort food most of the time.
And those are
So,
choices.
and then when you have sickness and disease in your life, whether it's high blood pressure or diabetes or any type of disease, that's the time to make a change in your eating habits. But some people don't even do that. They wait until they're on the kidney machine, the dialysis machine, and then they might think about changing. So I think every mother should have be teaching their children about nutrition, because there's a lot of confusion about what is nourishing your body versus what is comforting your body.
Now that's the difference. That's true. But when you made the, I thought you were saying what we were being taught in Amana Village. So I just wanted to say that the Amana Village is not. It's an educational um, village that people, we're trying to grow. We're trying to learn everything that we need to learn how to self provide for ourselves and not for the system. It's not somebody dictating to us, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. It's more or less of a learning. He's teaching us different things that he know that we don't know. We don't want nobody to think, oh, you coming in, you coming into the village and being in a community, but you got to eat this and you got to do this, and it's nothing like that. It's all educational. You have your own free will to come and go as you please. If you want to continue to be a part of what's going on, you could. If you don't, you don't. It's nothing in that order of him, as far as the food, but he's constantly helping us learn, and we're teaching each other. And like Tanisha said, to make sure that we have what we need, the things that we need for each other, and that goes for anybody.
Okay, when I think of any family of people who are learning and growing, uh, I'm gonna bring up the website for Blacklight Media so we can take a look at that. But I want to say, wait a minute, where are we? Okay, share screen. Uh, okay, this is the website. I think if this is current, do you know if this is current or not? Because I know
I,
they were working on
I'm
the
really not
website.
sure.
To Tanisha, maybe you can chime in. Is this a current website here? Because I
Yeah, I'm
know
not
you
sure.
guys were working on it. But any type of learning that we're doing today, moms, dads, anybody, we got to focus on the kingdom within, right? I know that's part of the True Light Media teaching of the sovereignty, the power that we have within. We don't need doctors as much because they are not going to promote the kingdom within, the spiritual journey that we're all on to learn about this kingdom within, the mind body connection, the mind gut connection. This is our power today when we tap into who we really are in this temple, this
That's right.
sacred temple. So when I was on a meditation with the kingdom, the True Black Light Media for 30 days, I think it was, that was the awareness I came to more and more how powerful my body was
Mm-hmm.
to be able to breathe for 2 hours and just and focus on the music and enhancing my thoughts and my emotions. So
Mm-hmm.
when we're talking about mothers educating their children, this temple does not thrive on junk food. So there's got to
No,
be, in my opinion,
no.
some education about what nourishes the temple, not just the body. Because everybody, this is my body. I can do what I want to eat. I can eat chips all day, pizza, Coca-Cola. I think there has to be a level of education in any organization that's conscious and growing about what is nourishing this
That's
temple.
right. That's right.
So
Because it's the common
moms,
denominator that's taking us out of here. So the moms do have to train their children. But I'm saying when you get of age and you eating all this stuff, but you know what's going to happen to you, but you still eating it and you get sick, that's your choice. You did that on your own. But of course, we do have to train our children up to eat the proper things. Not only our children, we can give that information to our adult family members in the whole village. You can tell them, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is what I help that. So we do educate on health. And there's no way that you can live today without a learning about what you're eating, what you're putting in your mouth. Because again, you have to unlearn and relearn. They have tricked us so much with all of this food. That's the key to get to us because we like to eat. So you're eating poison. So yeah, it's
and let
definitely
me say,
education.
we have to stop calling these products in a box, these processed food processed chemicals. They're not. It's
Right.
not food. When you
It's
look
not
at
even
the book
food.
of Genesis that says food has to have seed in it, they taking the seed out of everything, even watermelons. We grew up, we were spitting that black seed everywhere. Now
Right.
it's like, I'm like, where's the watermelons? And I bought a watermelon. It said organic watermelon with seeds. Took it home. I couldn't find one seed in there. When I took
Mm,
that, I'm like, give me my money back. This
right.
ain't, if you don't have seed, you go and advertise watermelon, organic watermelon with seeds, and I open it up and there's
You,
bye.
you were supposed to take it back.
No. So,
Yeah.
because I'm looking for black seeds, I've got some watermelon leaves growing in my garden right now. I don't know if they're going to survive. For some reason, they don't survive, but I got a lot of watermelon vines growing right now. And that's what I'm trying to plant these foods.
Hmm.
But mothers, you got to teach these young children about nourishing the temple versus comforting their emotions.
You're right.
And Kwame says here, the financial payout is Meta will pay out the 18 billion in annual installments over a 10-year period. The funds are heavily earmarked for state youth mental health programs. So there you go, shifting into mental health.
Hmm.
This is, I think, what Kwame's saying, a good resource for moms to be aware of, whether it's your mental health
Or somebody else's.
or your children's or
Right.
somebody else's. Let's
Hmm.
keep that in mind of the resources. Thank you, Kwame, for giving us that information. It says use programs, we use programs must reprogram their self. Exactly. Like you were saying, sister, we're in a state of reprogramming all year long, every day.
That's right.
You got to ask yourself, is this really true what I've been learning? Here's one thing. Is it good to have cocoa puffs and milk, white milk for breakfast every morning with all that sugar in it?
Just
And
the
that's
Cocoa Puffs itself is no good.
and all the other cereals
Yeah.
with engineered foods now. They actually are putting on the boxes now. This product is made with bioengineered ingredients. So that means they still trying to change your DNA and retrain your mind and all that. They're still trying to influence you in this human vessel.
That's right.
They're doing it with the food, the non-food. I'm gonna say the
Yeah,
non.
and they don't even so what the problem is, we don't read enough. So you're not reading your ingredients. Some people don't even know what engineering, whatever that word means. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And
bioengineered.
right, but I was brought up, I was taught that if you can't pronounce it, you don't need to eat it.
That's right.
So it's words on there that don't even make it look like it's just a bunch of alphabets together. And you don't know what they mean. So, and if you took that word today, since you got Google, you can go in the food store, go shopping, read your ingredients. If it's something you don't understand, Google it, and it's going to tell you what it is. And then, you know what I mean? You could take yourself down a rabbit hole with all this stuff that they're putting in the foods. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful what you're eating. You got to read. You got to read. That's how they're getting us.
So here on the True Black Light Media platform or site, it says True Black Media is a media education and community development platform established as the umbrella organization for Amana Village and the Universal Order of Black Light. The company was created to produce, organize, and distribute content that promotes cultural awareness, spiritual education, moral development, family structure, and community advancement. Now, when I read something like that, and mothers, if you are connected to True Black Media, spiritual advancement means you're going to be fasting a lot
Oh
because
yeah,
that's part of the spiritual lifestyle. You got to
that's
be
right.
letting go of that damn non-food.
That's right.
You do not need 3 meals a day. Sorry, that's
That was
another
another
lie.
trick,
Yeah,
right? The food
three
group
three
is no
meals a
good.
day is killing us,
Yeah,
killing us.
you don't need 3 meals. You're supposed to eat to live, not live to eat. And we do it
So
all the time.
I love that message includes spiritual development because that is what will help you raise healthy children.
That's
Spiritual
right.
education, moral development, family structure, and community. That one paragraph alone, the first paragraph, is a curriculum in itself. You could take
Hmm.
each one of those topics that are mentioned and develop a curriculum for children in your home, like you said, homeschooling. Just take all this information on this page and develop a curriculum, and your kids will be smarter than any public school student because they're not teaching this in public schools.
That's right.
So thank you, True Black Light Media. And then I think there's another. No, no, that was something else. So that's where you got to start. As my sister said, we have to know how to read. So the reading in the house is important. You start. There's an app for food scanning food labels, and they will tell you
What's in it?
whether what's the rating of it, whether it's good, bad, or ugly, basically.
And it's called Is It Vegan? And you don't have to be a vegan to download that app. And it's not about a vegan, but it tells most all vegans, a true vegan, is not going to eat nothing that has ever lived, had eyes, had a heart, nothing. So that tells you how what's in the food is going to tell you what it is. That's why they using it like that. It's called Is It Vegan? Free app.
And there's another one that my sister used it. I had it on my phone for a while, but then my family wasn't interested in because they it's another one that's not even doesn't have vegan or anything. But you scan it and they will tell you why it's not rated, why it's rated low because of
Mm-hmm.
the oils, because of
Right.
something else. And you can decide from reading the label, which could have 50 ingredients in it. I don't even need to have an app like that because if
Uh,
I pick up any
that's right.
box, if it has more than 4 ingredients, I'm suspect.
Yeah, something's
If
in it.
it, if it has seed oils in it, not happening for me.
Hmm.
Canola oil, sunflower oil, safflower oil, all those except olive and coconut are very harmful and weakening to the body. So
That's correct.
RFK Jr. has been really working to eliminate those things from our food ingredients. So that's why a lot of people are really changing and waking up. So moms,
Yeah.
you gotta start getting your young children to read the labels and figure out, is this really something I want to put in my temple, my body?
And they need to get off of those fast foods. McDonald's is killing your babies. That's the first thing they do when they get out of school, taking them to McDonald's. You got to stop feeding your kids these fast food restaurant foods.
Now, C.A. Lawrence 6648 says, where is God in all this? Sister, you want to answer that first?
Oh, of course. So, first of all, God is within you. You are God. Everything. So, a lot of people will say, "Oh, I'm saved," or you know, I'm this, I'm that. God saved you and blessed you when you were born with the senses to know how to survive. He blessed us with wisdom. So God is within you. We know right from wrong. God put everything that He need us to know within us. So that's where God is at. And we know right from wrong. God is within you. He's telling you right from wrong. It's up to you to pay attention and listen. That's
So,
that's where God is. He blessed you with wisdom. That's
And
it.
and we are made in the image of our creator, is what the Bible tells us. So if you're made in the image of the creator, some people call it God, what does that mean? The universe, the cosmic order of planets and energy is inside of us. If you were to open up your body, you're going to see a big universe. I just heard a lecture, YouTube teaching about the woman's uterus is a big planet. It's a portal. So when you say where is God, He's in you. It's inside of you. You just take every or any organ inside of you, and it matches the universe and the cosmic planets. You in fact you have Saturn, Mercury, all that floating around in you, the rivers of your blood. So the creator in all of this is the wisdom that created this temple. And children need to be taught that, moms, early, so that they can respect this house, this temple.
Because you only get
That means,
one.
go ahead.
You only get one.
Exactly. You only get one.
There's no
So
do-over.
don't mess this one up. And then if you do, because there's a lot of people who end up with cancer or some other disease, dialysis, your body is able to overcome anything when you change your thinking. When you renew this mind, you can overcome any disease, any mistakes you might call them. I don't call them mistakes, I call them lessons. You got a lesson in cancer, you got a lesson in everything. Once you decide from your great mind, which is the creator, that I am not going to put up with it. You start singing this song that I play on my show, I am healthy, I am whole, and I am complete. And you repeat that every day, your body's going to say, oh, okay. I'm not singing the song, I'm so sick, I'm so weak, I'm so tired, I have cancer, I have this, I have that. You stop singing that song, you stop repeating those negative, low vibration words. You teach your children to always watch the words that come out of their mouth
Because
and
they're very
always
powerful.
thank you.
They're very
Thank you.
powerful. And they say that the power is in the tongue. What you speak
Amen.
is what you bringing upon yourself. That's why when people say, oh God, I'm praying to God, God is within you. God has given you everything. You can go within your, even, now I'm going to get off the topic a little bit, but even with your loved ones, somebody that has passed away, they're within you. They're within you. The spirit, the energy never dies. It transforms. So they're going to always be with you. So yeah, you have to be knowledgeable of who you are from head to toe in this temple. Whatever you feed it, that's going to be the outcome of it. So if you take care of your body, it's going to take care of you.
Now, Tanisha is suggesting some of the foods that are healthy, and then she has a little chicken. I don't touch chicken anymore. I'm sorry. I, they just had a
She said a
recall
little
on some
chicken.
chicken from Walmart's again. I'm like, the only way you want to touch chicken is go to a farm where you know how they're growing the animals. We have one here in Orlando that is so nice. It's so nice. Every time I drive up, I'm like, hey babies, hey babies. They even have a bison or a buffalo on the property. And I have tried bison. I eat bison every now and then because that animal is one that's sacrificed to our Native American relatives. And so I'm always thinking about the bison is an animal that sacrifices himself or to people who need that extra meat protein. Now, everybody doesn't want protein. Some people are still, I was a vegetarian for a long time, did my carrot juice, green juice, all that, and grains and vegetables and all that. And then some spirit said, you can eat whatever you want, but just don't do it when you're in sadness or depression because it ain't going to digest.
So wait a
So
minute. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but you had me laughing. You said the bison sacrifice itself.
to the Native Americans. That's how they used every part of the buffalo. And the buffalo is a bison. They used every part. The skin was their teepee. The meat was their food.
I understand that, but they didn't. The bisons didn't sacrifice themselves. They were slaughtered to
No,
use all their stuff.
I spent 5 days on a reservation in Montana, and that's what they told me. They told
So,
me, they were telling me the history of everything on the
mm,
reservation. And this woman still speaking, Peggy, well known Buffalo. I think Kwame would know who I'm talking about. But she told me so much history that I was totally unaware of about Native Americans. And the buffalo, they're trying to bring that animal back to the reservation. And they are actually canning or drying out buffalo meat, and they're going back to their old Native American ways of preserving the meat from the buffalo as well as vegetables and all that as
mm,
well. But that's what I was so surprised to hear that, because they believe spiritually that that
mm-hmm,
animal was giving of itself to help them. And then what did the United States military do to try and overcome the native spirit? They slaughtered thousands of buffalo because
mm-hmm,
they knew that was their source of food and everything else. There's a picture online of buffalo stacked up
mm.
after the United States military slaughtered so many trying to destroy the Native Americans, but it didn't happen. They still survived. So yeah, that's what I eat. But chicken, if you're gonna eat chicken, moms, please, please, please find a farm or a farmer's market at least where you can figure out where it came from. Do not go to Walmart, please, and buy your chicken. Mm-mm.
So I would say if you're gonna eat any kind of meat, go to a halal store because the Muslims kill their food differently. You know, they
You
don't
mean
just
Jewish?
no. I said halal.
Halal.
That's Muslim. Yeah.
Oh, Muslim. Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good point. They're going to be more careful about where the animal comes from, how it's slaughtered, the blood, take the blood out, right, and all that.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So yes, it's current. Who is this? Ethan, I think you mean the website, right? The website is current. Okay. And then here's Tanisha says, "How to Eat to Live" by Elijah Muhammad is what we go by. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. And that's so much wisdom in that that you can't beat that. When Elijah Muhammad teaches, and even you have Dick Gregory was another good teacher about diet.
It's a
Can
lot of them. Yes, a lot of them out there. Even now, it's a lot of them out there that you can follow. Dr. Yakai Awakening will help
Yes.
you and show you all kinds of stuff. So it's a lot of them out there. But you just got to know, we got to use our wisdom. Again, we got to know for ourselves. We can't be followers of the internet or followers of people. Know for yourself because the God that's in you again is going to tell you that's right or that's wrong. It's up to you to be able to hear him. Now, if you're all clouded, you know, your mind is all cluttered up with smoking weed or drinking or whatever, you're not going to be able to hear.
So Priscilla James is saying children are exposed to a lot of screen time. Hey, that's where we got to make the change. Moms, your village, help your village. Ask somebody in the village to take them roller skating. Ask somebody, you got to get them out of the house and more active.
We
That's and
couldn't
the
stay in the
village.
house when we was growing up. We could not stay in the house. We had to get out. Now
So
these
that's
kids don't even go outside at all.
That's why you need a village or a family or a support group to
Hmm.
help the children, distract them from the entertainment gadgets. And she said, iPads, smart boards, etc., and home to more screen time. Homeschool monitoring is one great solution to help with this crisis. So even if the parents cannot homeschool, you got to figure out activities after public school. They
Hmm.
cannot be coming home, getting into the same old routine. And Tanisha says organic chicken. Got to be careful. Even that, got to be careful. Where's it coming from? Because they're labeling stuff organic all the time, and it's not even that. Like I said, I bought an organic watermelon seeded, and there were no seeds in it. So it made me wonder: is this really organic? It's like,
Yeah.
really? Okay. So my mom was NOI, so she raised us on a healthy diet. My
Mm.
mom, we had, my mom was a good cook. We had everything from chitlins at least 3 or 4 times a
Oh my
year
God.
to pork chops. We had pork chops. We had hamburger. My mom could make the best hamburgers from
Mm-mm.
scratch. We didn't have no McDonald's till later in life. But my mom was a good cook. And I feel like we had so much love from my mother that that's why the food was not a big issue back then.
But they
Hawaiian
didn't
punch,
have, yeah, they didn't have all that stuff in it. And back then, I mean, our parents cooked what they had.
I'm telling you,
They cooked what they had. But
we had red
again,
meats.
when you know better,
You
you
do
do
better.
better. And when you can supply it by yourself, my mother used to be like, okay, if you're not eating these pork chops on Wednesday, you ain't eating. So, and I
Exactly.
just didn't eat. But when I got older, I didn't implement that stuff into my family. So when you can pay for it on your own, then you can do it. But back in those days, our parents did the best that they could with what they had.
We
So,
love, we see, we, that's what we have to teach our children and adult children as well. We see our parents with love
hmm,
because they did the best they could,
that's right.
especially adults, children who are struggling with, my mom didn't do this, my mom didn't do that. They did the best they could, really.
With what they had,
And
with what
so
this system gave them.
I have with with my adult sons, I have a spiritual partnership now. I don't, they call me mom, but I see them not as adults who can be influenced by this woman who gave birth to them, but I see them more now as soul partners because
Hmm.
the choices that they make, they're not my choices. I wouldn't make them, but I don't know what is going on the vertical level with
Hmm.
their creator sometimes. And
Hmm.
so I'm learning, even especially with my grandchildren. You have grandchildren. These souls are here to do a special mission of waking us up and showing us some things that maybe we hadn't thought about. Would you say?
I would say that because we you learn every day. It's something changing every single day. That's why I said it's not going to go backwards. If anything, we're going to be moving forward. So things are changing, and yes, they can teach us something. Just because we're their moms or grandparents, that don't mean that they can't teach us anything. We're always learning
And my
every day.
sister and my sister Naima Latif on the Female Solution, she has one of her hosts is Asada Kirkland, who wrote a book, Beating Black Kids.
Mm,
And they are very strongly against any type of beatings or especially beatings and spankings. And that's one of the things, mothers, that we need to think about how to discipline our children better
hmm.
than taking out a strap or a stick. Because that ain't
Right.
happening. That doesn't really work anymore because these kids are too smart and they need to be present with you and look them in the eye and talk to them. That's the
Yeah.
generation coming up now. They just need eye to eye. Let's talk. Let's talk.
Yeah.
What's going on in that brain of yours that I don't
And we're not in
understand?
slavery anymore. That's what they did to us in
Yeah,
slavery. Sit
yeah,
down and talk to them. Put
yeah,
them on a punishment and make them read. Make them do
yeah.
you a book report. You know what I'm saying? Just that use that time to make them learn something. Educate them. It doesn't always have to be standing in a corner and all that military stuff. But like you said, sit down, read a book, and then I want you to tell me about that book. Just give them
Or
more stuff to
my
do.
grand or like my grandson, he's 9 years old, he's 10 years old, he doesn't like to read. He's so smart, he doesn't like to read. He can't read, but you know what his dad did, that just his dad read to him and he had his
Mm.
attention. I even tried to give him some comic books because that's what happened with my youngest son. When he was young, he didn't like to read either. So I started letting him read comic book. Now he's a Marvel fanatic. It's
Mm.
like he goes to all the conventions and all that. But that's what got him reading was comic book. This grandchild, he ain't interested in comic books. He's not in, but his dad will make him read at some every night at least 20 minutes, and he'll
Hmm.
and they go back and forth. If you have mothers, if you are in a divorce situation, you especially need to put your phone down when those kids are with you and give them your attention as much as possible. I know moms get tired, but that's when you call the village and say, "Hey, I'm tired. Can you come over here and entertain my children or
Right.
whatever?" Because
Right.
a lot of times they want to be entertained. But it's a whole new day. Don't do what we did and our grandparents did and bring out switches and belts and ironing cords and all that. Mm-mm. We don't want to do that anymore. We are smarter, we're wiser, we're stronger, and we have so much information now in this technology age. we can figure out how to discipline them without beating them up.
That's true.
So, all right. Well, we are at the top of the hour. I'm so grateful for my sister joining me to have this much needed
Thank you
conversation.
for having me again.
And
I
I want
enjoyed it.
to let you give kind of summarize what we've talked about this last hour to help these moms to do their best in this world of ever changing technology and more.
Well, I think for the young moms out there, the single moms, or even the moms with father, because they don't know either. We all learning together. Be open. Be open to some good constructive criticism, and don't be afraid to ask. We don't know everything, and if it don't feel right, don't do it. You know what I mean? We just have to be more there for our children. And on another note, we are their protector. We need to be able to protect our children. I never let my kids spend the night over a friend's house. If I couldn't see, or if I didn't know that parent and I couldn't see, I can't control what the situation if I can't see you. That's how things happen. When you think you let them go over a friend's house, it don't be the friends' parents. It could be one of their friends. Anything can happen. So you got to be mindful of where your children are. It's sitting down with them, giving them some these little hooty hoos when they in trouble. You know what I mean? These little codes. So we got to really train our children because we are live. My mother used to say this all the time. We living in the last days, and I used to be like, "Well, what is the when?" You keep saying it. I'm looking around. We are living in some very, very hard times, and if we don't pay attention to what's going on, we walking around here asleep. We gonna get got right in your own backyard. So you're not. We're not protected anywhere. So for the mothers, hold on to your children, love them as much as you could, and give them that time that they need. They need that time. And again, you got to put them cell phones down, make them put their tablets down, and do a family day. It could be a Saturday or it could be whatever day that you have off. Do a family day with your child, and that's a must. That's a must.
Absolutely, I totally agree. And child trafficking is real.
Mm,
It is huge, huge, huge business all over the world. Do not go be looking on your phone when you're out in public, especially in a parking lot. They
mm,
got cars waiting for you to be distracted so they can snatch you and your children. It's
that's right.
crazy out there. So be careful. Please put the phone away when you are walking around in public in a location that you're not certain about or that is a rough neighborhood or whatever, because they're looking for melanin people to grab and get some stem cells, whatever they do, blood. That's crazy out there. So let's be aware. Let's be smart. Protect your children. Protect yourself, moms and dads. Men, even if you have to get some men to go walk or shopping with you in areas that you're not sure about, please be careful. And let's see, we got, I think, another comment. Did we get this one? My mom was okay. She got that awesome. Kimya says awesome. Thanks. So this is we're going to be back. I think we're going to try and do this every 2 weeks with the True Black Light Media, and so we invite anyone in True Black Light Media. If you want to be a guest on the show, send me or send Tanisha. Tanisha entered the studio, but I don't see her camera hooked up, so I can't. Okay, let me see if she's no. I don't see her camera hooked up. So Tanisha, let's see. Is your camera there? Tanisha, you wanted to say some final words?
Peace. Hello.
Yes, go ahead. I can't see you, but we can hear you. Go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
What's
Hello.
going on?
She probably can't hear us.
Okay, we
Hello.
can't.
Oh, hello. Can you hear me?
I can
Yes.
hear you. Can you hear us?
I'm sorry, I'm late.
But we're about to close. But do you have some
uh,
final words on the sub? You've been very participating in the chat. Did you want a final word or two?
yes, I did. I just wanted to say that the diet that the village goes by is the one from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's our diet that we follow. from the book How to Eat to Live. Um, it's a very good diet. That's how I was raised. My mom, if you wanted like chips and all that, you had to go to the store. She was not buying it. That wasn't coming in her house. She didn't go to the store and overly buy, what is it called?
Snacks.
Cereal. Yeah, she didn't do
Mm-hmm.
that. So I didn't even really have baked macaroni and cheese and candy yams and all that till like maybe like 13 or 14. She was really really strict on what she made for us. It was either fish or some type of chicken. And then in Philadelphia we have like a real big a Muslim population, so we would go to
Mm-hmm.
the my mom would go to the farmers, I meant sorry, to the Renton terminal and get Canadian turkey bacon,
Mm-hmm.
turkey chops. She was very very adamant about that, so I think that's what helped us because we, for the most part, we were smaller. Like we stayed, a small frame.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't really, after kids here and there, but for the most part, like my brother, all of us, we really were smaller. We weren't like a obese family, so to say.
Thank you.
Yep, yep.
And
Let me just say this too, biting off what Tanisha said. How to eat to live is not a diet; it's a way of life. And I think if you we got to watch what we how we use words because people, oh, I can't be on a diet. I can't diet. It's not a diet. It's how you live. It's how to eat to live. Is exactly what it says. So you have to change what you're eating in order to if you change how you think, you could change how you eat. So, that book is definitely a good book to follow and it's a way of life.
you're right. And it's not, it's also about when you're eating.
Mm,
Hmm.
So the True Black Light Media has a big responsibility in that area to shift the lie from the lies we were told as children, or especially
mm,
baby boomers, what we can eat and 3 meals a day. Forget it.
right.
That's where we have to enter fasting mode.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Fasting mode in the morning. Hey, it's funny. My grandchildren don't always want to eat breakfast, and I'm thinking that's a good thing because they're fasting in the morning. And
Anyway.
all that junk they start eating at noon is actually going to be better digested because their stomach's not full of Cheerios and all the other
Mm-hmm.
crap people eat. So yeah, don't use the word diet. You're right. It's a lifestyle of nourishing this sacred temple that needs to fast and pray more than it needs to be eating.
Eating.
So
That's right.
I think we all
Yes.
agree on that one. It's like got to change that. So thank you, moms. I want to just say a prayer for all the moms out there who might be struggling, especially with housing. If you watch my show from yesterday, it might give you a few tips on how to provide housing for your family. But I send out love and wisdom to all the moms out there. And I just pray that you will reach out to your family members that you can trust, family members that can support you, and read more about the best ways to raise children because becoming a conscious parent is what's key to raising healthy children that
That's
stay
right.
out of jail. I don't need you got to be conscious and aware that these are special children these days and they need special attention, which means, as we said, put down the phone. Can't be raising healthy children, you on your phone and they on their gadget and everybody's doing their thing. So we hope and pray that you will begin to practice that lesson about being present in your life, in their life, and asking for help when you need it. Don't neglect asking for help. Okay. So thank you all for being here, especially tomorrow morning. I'll be on Health and Wellbeing with Viyahta right here on the Village channel. I'm going to be talking about why the sudden death of Dolly Parton. Black folks love Dolly Parton and they just worshiping and doing all that. But we need to be aware of why this woman died suddenly. And I got some 3 doctors who going to tell us the ins and outs why she died. Plus, because she was a caregiver for her husband, we're going to talk about the risk of being a caregiver.
Let me
Because
ask you this. How
yeah,
old was Dolly Parton?
80 years old.
Okay.
80 years old. So I mean that's time when most people are leaving anyway.
Right, because I'm
But
saying,
there
that
is
wasn't a
there's
sudden. She lived for 80 years.
but there's a video 5 days before she passed, you would never think that woman had any sickness or death. She was just as vibrant. And so there's a lot of little conspiracy things going on
Mm.
about her death. And we know what's going on in Hollywood. But
Right.
because of what she chose to do the last few years of her life,
Mm.
and the message she brought us when the big pharma was promoting their stuff, we need to know why suddenly she's out of here.
Mm.
And especially she chose to take care of her husband, and then he died, and now she's anyway. We're going to talk a little bit about that and how to prevent the sudden deaths and the mysteries that all occur with Hollywood. Okay, so thank you both for being here, and all of you in the comments. We say ashe, ashe, oh, to all of my brothers and sisters out there. Namaste and Sat Nam to my yogi friends, and aho, aho to all my native brothers and sisters. Everybody, have a good evening.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sister.
All right, I'll see
All
you
right.
tomorrow
Peace.
morning. Hope to see you tomorrow morning.
Peace.
Yes.
Shalom.
Peace.
Tadbiyaw, nagkuksa hapa akapapa or Penenza put nagkukalana sa or Kahus di ka alam sa or Azempa hakakepa patarak Adirgahan Tashiya wushiwa basaw kamun The fear muna kabili akalat nun Akikiki kapunja wa patasad Anu kira was, nika pamagarat Anu awan for papalag Anu akapajua akagadat Anu kadua na kontradisyon iyat Anu kadua la mata was patarak Adu fi pamarat Nika hamos Anu panas na supadu akat na hos Nagkukabura inha Yeah, nagkukabura inha